Hey, this is Nata, aka the sweetheart of rap, and you are now watching Stay on TV with Ashley Tiffany. Stay the course, you probably heard it before. And giving no remorse, still never taking a loss. I've been this way since born '94. Pick a sport, my cleats fitted like low tops. New state of art, yet still repping that old block.
Hey everyone, I'm Ashley Tiffany and you're watching Stay on TV. We're back at My Studios for another exclusive interview, and we switched it up this time because it's nice outside, summer is near, and I'm happy to have the lovely Nata with me.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I've been following you for a few months now, so I'm happy that getting to speak with you. How are you?
I'm doing good. Life is busy. It's busy, but I'm so grateful and I'm just so happy.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And 2022, we're coming out of a pandemic, or some may say we still in a pandemic.
Yeah.
Like, how has it been for you as an artist through this time?
It's definitely been difficult because there's a point in time where I didn't have a job because of the pandemic, and as an artist, we spend more sometimes than we gain. But it also was just like a learning, lesson that something can go just like that, and just kind of thinking about the priorities of things, the purpose of things, and so it was actually good for my writing too. I felt like I got to be more in tuned with real purpose, except for all those stuff that's going on in the world. So yeah, it was actually dope.
Yeah. Oh, and yes, I didn't get to introduce you fully. You
Oh, yeah.
are a recording artist.
Yes.
And what else would you say? What's your title?
Oh boy, I would call myself a recording artist, a creative director. I style on the side a little bit.
I
Y'all need me
see
to
it.
style
Okay.
a little bit. And I guess just all around creative. I love poetry. I feel like, I guess the word is just artist, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And how long have you been doing this, or like when did you feel like you became Nata?
You said when you became Nata. Wow. I guess 2018 hasn't really been that long, especially with the rap. And I always felt like I couldn't do it. I grew up in a very religious and African home, so it was very far-fetched. But yeah, since 2018.
I know. I see that you wrote that on IG as well, and I couldn't believe that it only been a few years for you.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it like to say, like, okay, I was really gonna start pursuing rap? Like, what was it?
It was definitely very difficult because I always loved rap. I always played around with it, but I guess it was just from the point of putting the videos out on Instagram. It came to a point where it wasn't even like, oh, you could rap. It was just certain things like, wow, what you're talking about is meaningful, or wow, I needed to hear that. Once I started getting still playing around on IG, once I started getting those, I was like, oh yeah, I need to take this serious.
Yeah. And then was it the people around you as well? Because you're actually spitting, and I would like to say that too. You're actually spitting. It seems like it's coming from your soul as well.
Yeah.
So was it your friends around you saying that you should pursue this too? Or?
Yeah, although I had a very, very small circle, the girls in my dorm, I used to do that in front of them, and they were just like, girl, you need to try it. Definitely the people around me. And it's not like they were big hip-hop fans, but when you hear something that's meaningful, that makes sense, they were all into it. So yeah, definitely them too. They were so supportive.
Do you remember your first rhyme?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to ask you to spit it now.
I could do a little bit. It's so funny. It's probably going to sound hard. Oh, my gosh. What did I say? I think I did it to the Still Tippin', you know that beat?
Yeah.
I think I said, I don't even talk like this no more. I said, still tipping on fofos, 4 shots of Henny to the dome. My block, a place we call home, man. Hard knocks is all a nigga know. I was like, what?
Oh, okay.
I wasn't even talking. I don't know why that was so bad.
And did you write that in your dorm room or something?
Yes, I did. I don't know who I thought I was.
Okay, but no, that's good that you remember it.
Yeah.
And the growth and the transition of everything you see is just amazing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have a special game for you tonight. Here presenting number 7, the Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year transpired just from real life. I felt like, everything was happening for me in rap so fast. in the midst of the 3 years, like Hot 97 reposting me, like Missy Elliott following me. It was so much going on, and I felt like the Rookie of the Year, but the album didn't really per se talk about like the accolades. It also talked about how I felt, even at the point where I was getting a little too feeling myself, and kind of just the whole album is just kind of like humbling myself down. Even through the successes, it was like, please remember your purpose.
Yeah.
So that was like a whole, like you got the whole transition from highlights to losing myself to coming back to what's the purpose of it all.
And
so.
losing yourself, like in what way? What would you say?
I guess just like losing yourself in the game. It's so easy to kind of be consumed about like the numbers, the accolades, or like, oh yeah, I just started and I'm already this, that, and the third. You could get so consumed by that. Although it's never really been my character, but I saw myself like, you could get drawn into that perspective. So I would say that was the time where I was like, all right, I see myself losing it a bit. Let me get right back in there.
And it's good that means like you really truly know who you are to like pull yourself back out of that, because I had experience like that too, like when I was feeling myself, but also I know like sometimes I do need to just give myself a pat on the back, like wow, I did all this stuff.
Absolutely.
Like I did all this stuff, but it's good to know like that you knew like who you were. And I want to actually say a line.
Oh.
I have a few lines here, but one of it is, how much soul did it take for the clout? I like that. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you did. Yes, you did.
Take that part out too. It's easy to lose yourself in the clout, and can you just like elaborate like of like the industry overall and you knowing your purpose and how much is important to you to stay grounded in that?
Yeah, the industry is it's like kind of like high school. But the industry is a very tricky place. Like, I don't want to say it's evil. There's some great things about it, but you could just really get consumed. There's a lot of people underground who do a lot of things that they probably wouldn't do if not for the recognition, if not for, I remember the first time I was coming out and someone wanted to manage me, he actually told me to call myself Little Nata because there's so many littles that are popping, like little,
Uzi,
or the little.
Or a lot of little people.
Yeah, so I was just, it was stuff like that and even bigger things on a larger scale that was like, oh, the industry is like kind of fakeish, kind of a game, kind of like who can be recognized more? What can I do to, you know what I'm saying? So it comes to a point where it's like you're losing your sense of self. Like, you're losing who you are. Imagine if I would have took that name. That's not me.
Yeah.
So how much so does it cost for the clout? It's like, how much of yourself are you giving in exchange of opinions, in exchange of people creating you like a robot to be this perfect caricature of fame or this person. So that's where that line came from seeing that, like, wow.
Yeah. And do you have a manager right now, or?
Yes, I do.
You do.
Yeah.
And how has it like been working with like a manager? Like, does he let you like, or she let you be you and still, or does he have like some type of creative input?
Shout out to LQ, but he lets me be myself 100%. He is just there to support me. He is just there to be like my backbone. He's there to be the person that needs to send the emails to certain people in certain ways. But he definitely lets me be myself. He doesn't make me change at all. He feels that who I am is a brand of itself. Right. So he feels like he doesn't have no need to change me unless it's something that is actually like constructive.
Yeah.
But he's so freeing. He lets me do me.
So how does Nata stay grounded?
I'm a church girl, so I pray. That's how I stay grounded. There's so much power in prayer. It's so much power in knowing that there's a bigger source than you. I feel like when you feel like you're the biggest thing in your world, you can't be grounded. Yeah. Since there's something above me, there's no way I can be all up in the sky. But prayer and just, I just like to kind of stay away. Like, I like my space. I like my peace. I am not the person that goes out too much. I love to write, of course, but even not even just rhymes, poetry, anything like that. But yeah, I'm such a peaceful person. I don't like to be in the mix.
I'm the same way
Yeah.
actually, and I feel like with God, I promise myself to God, like anything that I have to do, I'm doing in this life,
Yeah.
I have to include Him in it,
Yes.
or it's just gonna fail.
Yes.
And I noticed you speak about God a lot in your music, so that's what gravitated me towards you as well. And I believe in energy and everything, so your energy is definitely very transparent from in person and on IG. Let me ask you this: what was like a time in your life that God told you that, you know, music was going to be for you?
Wow, that's a good question. I feel like there's been a bunch of times, but one highlighted time was the Hot 97 thing. And it's not really because of Hot 97.
That's big.
No,
That's
no,
big.
to be honest, it's really not because of Hot 97, but because how I was feeling before that. I was off IG for 3 days. I was crying. I was like, God, I don't even understand my purpose. I don't understand if I should be doing this. You know, growing up, how I grew up, this was so far-fetched. I didn't really have...
And this was in 2019, the end of 2019.
Yeah. So I'm just beginning. You know, my family wasn't really hip to it. They didn't really like it. So I was just like, you know, I don't know why I'm doing this. And what had happened was my manager was like, yo, are you on your IG? I'm like, no. Mind you, I was crying and praying right before that time happened.
Crying about what?
I just felt like I didn't know if this was it. I just felt like I didn't know where I was going in life. You know, I just had graduated college probably 2 years prior. And I was just like, am I wasting my time doing this? Like, why am I doing this? And few hours later, I actually was watching The Office. He called me.
Oh my gosh, I love that show too.
Yeah, me too.
Are you watching Abbott Elementary? It's
I
so
haven't
good.
watched like a bunch of episodes because I canceled my Hulu thing. But yeah, I watched like one episode and I love it.
You would love it.
I think I'm gonna get the subscription back. But what was I gonna say? But yeah, he called me. He was like, "Did you see your IG?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Hot 97 posted you." Then I got another message. Hot 97 posted you. And then I was seeing it. I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" That's when I knew like God was like, "Girl,
yeah,
stop."
How did you feel like in that moment? Because Hot 97, that's like one of the biggest radio stations in the tri-state area.
Yeah.
Like, or just in general. But how did it feel for you?
It felt surreal because it was like, you know, I was a child listening to Hot 97 in the car. You know, I always loved hip-hop. I was such a hip-hop girl. I was one of those girls who was in the lunchroom with all the boys talking about hip-hop. So it felt so surreal. It felt so full circle. It didn't feel real.
Yeah.
But I was jumping for joy, man. I was just, it was amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it really feels like you're stepping in and owning into your purpose.
Yeah.
And how do you see yourself from like starting in 2018 to 2022 now? Like, what would you like say to your 2018 self?
To my 2018 self, I would say value yourself. Make sure to value yourself, because at that time I felt like I still wasn't valuing myself. And also, you know, we all discover ourselves more and more each day, but I would say know yourself more, or at least I wasn't swayed too much, but there were certain times where I felt like, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Should I be thinking about what people say about this? I feel like right now I know myself so much more. I know my character so much more. I probably would have made different music from 2018 to 2000 till now, but I would definitely just say, just understand your value.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I didn't understand my value. I was just doing a lot of free stuff.
Yeah, well, that's a way to get your name.
That's true.
But now you know.
Yeah, it was like unnecessarily some things. It was just like, yeah. But regardless of which, not even just money, but just understanding who I was. And kind of listening to my my gut versus too many suggestions, because that's what the industry does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course. And I want to talk about your style and just your overall, like your aura and everything.
Thank you.
I love everything is put together like as an artist. So can you talk to me about like how fashion came about too?
You know, fashion was always, it was actually my first love. before the music stuff. Well, music was a love too, but I just didn't think I could do music. But
Okay.
fashion was something I was like, oh yeah, I could do this.
Did you go to school for fashion?
No, I didn't. But I was styling people in college. I was in a fashion like club group thing.
Okay.
But yeah, fashion has always been like a thing for me. I felt like besides the music, it's just another way to represent yourself. I always like loved street fashion. I was never a girly girl, so I just love the street fashion, the 90s, 2000 aesthetic. That was just always
I
my
can
thing.
hear that in your music
Oh yeah,
as well.
for sure.
Yeah.
So it all bleeds through, but
Right.
yeah, fashion is so important to me. It's so fun, and it's like when you see somebody, you kind of know like, oh yeah,
Yeah, that's her.
Mhm.
That's her. So let's really get to know you and
Mhm.
your background, your family. You
Yes.
spoke briefly about it. Where are
Mhm.
you from? I know you're from New Jersey. right?
Yes.
So talk about that.
Oh girl, I'm from everywhere. My ethnicity is Sierra Leone. African, of course. I was born in the Bronx. I lived in the Bronx for a good amount of years, and I moved to Jersey. I moved back and forth a lot, but the time when I really officially moved to Jersey, ooh, I think like 2010, 2009, 2010, like
Okay.
the start of high school.
Okay.
Um,
So do you consider yourself a New Yorker?
You
New
know what's
Jersey?
crazy? Sometimes I feel like I'm like the bridge. That's what I call myself.
Okay.
Because I feel like I move so much, and like if I go to New York, they be like, "Oh, look at this Jersey girl." If I come to New Jersey, they be like, "Oh, look at this New York girl." So it's like, all right, I'll just be the George Washington Bridge.
Oh my
I'm
God.
good.
Mhm. All right. So how is it like? Talk about in your household, being being African and
Mhm.
growing and pursuing hip hop.
Yeah.
How was that? Breaking the news to your family.
I'm gonna tell you something. Even to this day, it's not easy. Because on top of course being African, being religious. So I remember when I first told my mom, she was like, when I first thought of hip hop, I'm thinking 50 Cent. So she's like, so she's thinking that I'm talking about guns and like
Yeah.
the hood, and well, not the hood per se, but like activities.
Just negative stuff,
And
yeah.
I'm over here talking about peace and God and free your mind and all that stuff. So till this day, there's some family members that are with it. They're supportive. There's some family
Do
members.
they listen to it? Like.
Oh yeah, some of them do. Not all the aunties. Not all
Okay.
the aunties are with it. They say they don't understand it, but they are fully supportive. My mom tries. She does.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's still it's still a road, a journey. But I think once they see me like really, I guess up there, I think I'm successful already. But probably when they see the money flow and they'll
Right.
yeah.
I mean, yeah. Oh, that's an interesting thing that you just mentioned right now.
Mhm.
What is your definition of success?
Ooh, I think my definition of success is just coming out of your comfort zone and doing something that you probably wouldn't have done yesterday. I think that's success to me. Just hitting a milestone. Even me rapping in general is success to me because this is something that I felt very, very scared to do. I felt it was very, very far-fetched. And I think that's how I measure success. Stepping out of your comfort zone and hitting that milestone, hitting
Right.
that task, hitting that thing that you thought you would never achieve. So it's levels,
Yeah,
definitely.
it's definitely levels
Yeah.
to it. And I love you just posted something, I think it was yesterday or a few
Mhm.
days, and it was just about like impact
Yeah.
impact and just like impacting, even if it's like a small amount, and
Yeah.
changing someone's life. And I feel like that's so important, and a lot of people need to understand that too. But everyone has their definition of success. But
Yeah.
if you can just impact one life, I feel like you did a lot already.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that post and what you meant by that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Cause I be having my little revelations, but we come this world. We think that success is, of course, numbers or streams or the amount of people that follow us. But man, you'd be surprised. One of the things that I feel like is success also is when somebody DMs you and say, "Oh, you made me want to rap," or "Oh, you're like, somebody called me like the Moses of hip hop, but I thought that was so essential and so cool because it's like, Moses was a prophet. Like Moses was someone who helped like save people out of something. So it's just like, or like you're saving hip hop, or like you're talking about purpose, like those type of things. And out of the 1,000 likes that I get, if I get 2 DMs like that, that's everything to me.
Wow.
So that's like, compare 1,000 likes to 2 DMs. But that 2 DM to me is like so essential, and that's what it's all about. Popularity is nothing if you're not affecting anyone. It doesn't make any sense. You're just something to look at. You're like a post.
Right.
I yeah.
I agree. Is that a way that you get your motivation, like seeing those DMs? Or
Yeah, for sure. Because there's times where, people are always surprised when I say this, but like I got like 11K followers or whatever. People are like, man, how'd you get that? You get all these likes, you get all whatever, and I'll be at home sad because those things don't matter. But when I get messages about how I affected people, how I don't know, how I'm just speaking truth, how I'm speaking message. Those things are like, oh yeah, this is why I want to continue going on, versus the likes and the views, because those aren't nothing.
And we can't take that with us.
Yeah,
either.
exactly.
You can't take that with us.
Not at all.
How do you come up with your rhymes? I know the thought process of it is crazy because you're actually saying something.
Yeah.
I'm not throwing shade at nobody.
No.
But it's just like, how do you write? Do you have to be in a car? Do you have to travel? Where does it come from?
I have a very interesting writing process. Most of my rhymes do come from the car. Okay. Most of the time, I'm not even having a paper and a pad in front of me. Yeah, it's crazy. I use voice notes a lot. So if something comes in my head, I'm like, da-da-da-da, something comes in my head, da-da-da, and I'm in the car.
Do you have to like hear a beat?
No. Sometimes I don't. Yeah. Yeah, that's why it's a crazy process. I love writing in the morning. I could write in the night, but I love writing in the morning. But sometimes I actually prefer for the beat to be off. It's so funny. Wow. Yeah, it's so funny because it's like the beat is in my head and I'm just, I don't know, a freer mind versus kind of letting the beat control me. I don't know. I'm so crazy.
Oh, that's your type of vibe. So I feel like you should just go with it. That's so interesting though. No beat.
Yeah.
So all right. So when hearing a beat, do you write to it, or you kind of like pick your beats after like you written? Well, voice noted.
Yeah, I definitely I've done both. But preferably, of course, hearing a beat and writing to it. But sometimes I have to turn it off. After hearing the beat, after I've got the rhythm, then I'm like, all right, it's like tick, tick, tick. And I'm like, all right, I could do it like this. And then it just frees my mind. I'm so weird. Yeah. So
as far as like 2022, how do you, where do you see yourself like in the next like 6 months? Because I don't say like 5 years because that's just like a lot. Yeah. But where do you see yourself like ending 2022 musically?
Musically, definitely putting out more singles. I felt like in the beginning of my career, I put out, like, my first project was my first time ever putting out music, and it was 4 songs. And then I put out Rookie of the Year, that was 13 songs. So I definitely want to give myself some more fun. I love
that was 13 songs too, because the style is just like 5 what is it, EPs now.
Yeah. Exactly. So I feel like I need to have a little bit more fun. I feel like I've been so serious about these things, kind of just giving out little singles, but definitely want to end 2022 with just of course, more engagement, more followers, all those stuff. But I'd want to do more shows outside of, the East Coast, going down south, going West Coast. Traveling. Definitely want to do more videos. I love videos. I love videos.
Let's talk about your videos, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Did you, direct them? Or because everyone was just different.
Yeah, me and my boy, Wave Digital Media, we come up with the ideas. We both are just so creative, like Missy and Hype Williams. I definitely have a creative control, I guess. So it's not like me just saying, okay, just give me a video. Like I
Right.
definitely be thinking about this stuff, but he just drives it home.
Yeah.
He just drives it home.
And how do you feel like about signing and stuff? Do you feel like would you sign to a big record label? Because I know they do change, you know, artists a lot. How important is for you to have your creative input if you would sign?
I don't want to sign to a major label, but if I did have anything signed, maybe like a distribution deal. But at the same time, if I did get to that point where I want to sign, I definitely want to have creative control. I am somebody who doesn't like anybody forcing me to do nothing. I'm that person. If you try to force me to do something, I'm definitely not gonna do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I definitely want a lot of creative control. I know the perks of signing, but I want to stay independent. I want to see how it goes. All you need is a good team, you know?
Yeah. A good team that you can trust,
Yeah.
and then that understands your, you know, creative,
Yeah,
and understands you as an artist as well.
absolutely.
That brings me to my next question.
Mhm.
Okay, you're independent right now.
Yes.
All the creative control is you. You have like a videographer that you work closely with.
Yes.
And I see that you're not, I want to say, I hate the word inspired, but let me just ask this, like, who inspired you musically
Okay.
before I make my judgments?
No, definitely. And this is such a like cool question. Everybody knows who my favorite rapper is, Jay-Z. I love him so much. He inspires me a lot. But I think the time of my transitioning from like 2018 till now, definitely she always has, but Lauryn Hill, and I think people start to see more of her in me as time goes on.
That's what I was going to
Yeah.
say. But I know certain artists don't like, oh, you remind me of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's why I don't say it.
Oh no, that's fine. You know how people love Lauryn Hill, where they put her in their whatever top whatever. I am fine with being compared to her, but it's funny because it really wasn't on purpose. When I first came out, people were like, "Well, you remind me of Foxy," da da da. Maybe because of the ill Nata, but then when I started changing or actually coming to myself, let me not even say changing, but coming to myself, I was like, all right, I need to really speak to the people, and it came off as the Lauryn Hill vibe, and I've always loved her anyway. And then lastly,
You have a favorite song?
oh yes, I do. I have so many, but Lost Ones, of course, her song for her son Zion was amazing, and I really love Fuji's Lauryn Hill. A lot of people don't talk about that, but there's this song called Cowboys, and she's like really spitting. A lot of people don't be like seeing her as a rapper, but they don't know.
I think Lost Ones too for me.
Yeah.
When she's talking about the industry
Yeah.
and everything in it. And
Yeah.
that's actually real.
Yeah.
And I think that's why she acts the way she acts too.
Exactly.
Because of the industry.
Absolutely.
Going into this industry too. Sorry to bring up God again, but like,
oh no,
'cause
you could
we're
bring
in the
him up.
industry we're in the industry too, and I don't know if it's for you, but like I definitely pray to God like even more as I'm elevating in my career and going into this industry. Do you ever get scared?
Oh yeah. And I feel like that's another reason why I related, I guess, to Lauren again so much is I can understand why she stopped. There was a point in even this year I was just like, God, this is this is crazy. This industry, they expect so much of you, and I definitely felt those attacks. Like the more you go up, you know, higher level, higher devils, they say. I've felt anxiety. I think I've cried more than I've ever cried before, but that just comes with purpose. You know, God is always gonna, in a sense, the toughest battles goes to the toughest soldiers. Right. So if you have purpose, there's going to be entities, things, powers, people that are always going to come after you. They're always going to...
So let me ask you this. How do you know if it's God's voice and not a counterfeit?
Ooh, wow. That's an amazing question. I think, and I'm going to just quote something just from the Bible. It just says, like, anything that's pure, anything that's true, anything is that of excellence, certain things like that.
I mess with you. Why?
Ooh. And
that's
I'm supposed to,
crazy.
even this is purpose.
Wow, that's crazy. That's my screensaver.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how you know it's from God. And I feel like, God is not the author of confusion. He will use confusion to, you know, drive you to your purpose, but he is not the author of it. So I think when it comes to a point where it's like, when it's like, I don't even know how to explain it, but God will never go against his word. He would never go against excellence. He would never go against purity. He would never go against love, his kind of love. And that's how I feel like I know that it's from God. And also just making a point, that's why I feel like from 2018 till now, I changed a lot because, there was a point where in my life, it was like, all right, God, I'm talking, but what am I talking about? In the end of the day, just like you said, I have to involve God in everything I do, even when I spit, because in the end of the day, everything that we're doing, this mic, me sitting next to you, this camera, God he breathes on everything. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
No problem.
So, jumping back, Jay-Z, Lauryn Hill,
Mm-hmm.
anyone else? Do you have a top 5?
Missy Elliott.
Yeah, okay.
She is just, I love her. And you know what's funny? I probably kind of listen to Missy more than those two. Only because, not only because her first album is just so dope. It was like Aaliyah, Genuine. It was just so creative. Man. The beats. I love Timbaland. And she's just such a creative, person.
And you said she followed you.
Yes, on Twitter.
Oh my God. How was that?
It was so surreal because I love her. I love her so much. And, that was the same video that Hot 97 reposted. So it was just like that video. Lord, I gotta thank God for the words he gave me for that video, because that video did well. But it was just so surreal. It was so great.
Yes.
Look, see, I've been gone for a minute. Now I'm back with new clearance in my perspective. Reflecting on my start using Genesis as my leverage. Lately at these shows, spacing out between set lists. Took some time to heal, now I'm running it back for seconds.
Freestyles was just always so fun to me. And I know a lot of people say certain things about freestyles, blah, blah, blah. But just being able to display my craft on somebody else's beat, it's so cool because you want to see how somebody makes it different. So I've always been that person, I want to see how I make this beat different. Right. So that's how I started before I even did music. So I just basically I just made it my thing. Just displaying my art on people's beats, and it just became a thing.
Yeah, and it keeps it fun and keeps your fans and your listeners,
engaged.
Engage and entertain. And what would you say is the most fun part about being an artist that you like? Is it the writing? Is it the performance? Performing. What would you say?
Performing is one of the funnest things because I feel like it's real life, real in time. I love doing random spontaneous things. I love interacting with the people. I love the people. Yeah. So performing is fun. I think the creative process too, one of my favorite things is the rollout. Even Rookie of the Year, I think I did a little interview thing
I loved
press
it.
Conference thing.
Yes, the press conference. That was so good. Good. Wow, you came up with that?
Yeah, girl.
Oh my gosh. And even the voice in the background.
Yeah.
Did y'all find someone to do
that? No. That was that was my engineer, my friend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, that was amazing.
Yeah, but I love creative stuff like that. I even want to do videos for other people. And just doing stuff like that is so dope to me.
Yeah.
I love visuals a lot, as you see, but I just love the creative process. I love writing as well, but I like making the art kind of tangible.
Yeah.
So those are my favorite parts.
You as an artist and just meeting you in person, I'm so happy I'm talking to you. I see longevity.
Oh, thank you.
In your career and just everything that you do, you will succeed. When you look at your growth now, what do you hope to be known for 100 years from now?
I hope to be known for just feeding the people with purpose, feeding the people with message, um, letting the people know that they can be resilient, letting the people know that they're not by themselves, especially being a voice for the youth, um, letting there's so much, but letting young women know, mind you, when I say this, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with women who do the opposite of me, that you can be yourself. If you don't, if being fully clothed is your thing, you don't have to be unfully clothed to do anything. If like, I don't even curse in my music. If not cursing is not your thing, then you can do it. You can do anything. You could just be yourself. And just, just being virtuous. I feel like I want to put my stamp there, but just definitely having purpose in what I have to say. And not just saying anything, because they say life and death is from the tongue. So if I could speak life and light in this world, that's what I want to be known for.
That was perfect. Wow, yeah, that was perfect, and it kind of answered my next question, and 2 questions left. But any advice that you would give, an artist or any person, any creative that wants to pursue something but doesn't have like the courage to do it, what would you tell them to do?
I will tell them that fear is an emotion, but fear is not you. Sorry, I'm always quoting the Bible, but God didn't make us. He didn't make us out of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. So just know that fear is not of you. And it's better to try than not try at all. It's better to try and fail than not try at all. And you'd be surprised that what's holding you back is just you. I feel like for a long time I was thinking about, like, if I tried this, nobody would take me serious. I'm this little African girl. Nobody's gonna take me serious as a rapper. And man, what proved them wrong was my action. What proved them wrong is my drive, and what proved them wrong is me taking a step forward. So even if you gotta prove yourself wrong, be like, oh no, I'm not even listening to myself. Right. I'm gonna just go, because we all got purpose. And if you feel like that's something that is your purpose or your calling, just know that once you step into it, everything will be good.
Thank you so much, Nata, for coming on. This was like amazing.
Thank you.
This is amazing, and this is your first interview with us, but not the last. I want to say, we support you, and I reached out to you because I truly like your music, respect what you're doing, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Thank
me
you.
and Denzel. So this is Ashley Tiffaney, and I'm with
Nata,
and we're tuning out, guys.
Big stepping like top floors. Only stay the course, you probably heard it before. And giving no remorse, still never taking a loss. I've been this way since born 94. Pick a